Let that be understood by those who practice terrorism and prey upon their neighbors. As for the enemies of freedom, those who are potential adversaries, they will be reminded that peace is the highest aspiration of the American people. We will negotiate for it, sacrifice for it. We will not surrender for it now or ever. We are Americans.
Thank you for pressing play and taking this time out on this wonderful 4th of July holidays. My name is David, and I am the Marine. During this video, I'm going to give you an excerpt of one of Ronald Reagan's greatest speeches, and I believe that it fits for what we're going through today, especially with everything that we have going on in our nation. So sit back and take in the words, the powerful words of one of the greatest communicators we've had as our president. Those who would trade our freedom for the soup kitchen to the welfare state, who have told us that they have utopia solutions of peace without victory. They call their policy accommodation, and they say if we'll only avoid any direct confrontation with the enemy, he'll forget his evil ways and learn to love us. All who oppose them are indirect as warmongers. They say we offer simple answers to complex problems. Well, perhaps there is a simple answer. Not an easy answer, but simple. If you and I have the courage to tell our elected officials that we want our national policy based on what we know in our heart is morally right. We cannot buy our security, our freedom from the threat of the bomb, by committing an immoral so great as saying to billion human beings now enslaved behind the Iron Curtain, give me your dreams of freedom, because to save our own skin, we're willing to make a deal with your slave master. Alexander Hamilton said, a nation which can prepare disgrace to danger is prepared for a master, and deserves one. Now let's set the record straight. There is no argument over the choice between peace and war, but there's only one guarantee way you can have peace, and you can have it in the next second. Surrender. Admittedly, there's a risk in any course we follow other than this, but every lesson of history tells us that the greater risk lies in appeasement. And this is the specter of well-meaning liberal friends refuse to face, that their policy of accommodation is appeasement, and it gives no choice between peace and war, only between fight or surrender. If we continue to accommodate, continue to back and retreat, eventually we'll face the final demand, the ultimatum. And what then? When Nikolai Khrushchev has told his people he knows what our answer will be. He has told them that we are retreating from the pressures of the Cold War. And someday when the time comes to deliver the final ultimatum, our surrender will be voluntary. Because by that time, we will have weakened from within spiritually, morally, and economically. He believes this because from our side, he's heard voices pleading for peace at any price, or better read than dead. As one commander put it, he'd rather live on his knees than die on his feet. And therein lies the road to war, because those voices don't speak for the rest of us. You and I know and do not believe that life is so dear and peace so sweet as to be purchased at the price of chains and slavery. If nothing in life is worth dying for, when did this begin? Just in the face of this enemy? Or should Moses have told the children of Israel to live in slavery under the Pharaohs? Should Christ have refused the cross? Should the patriots at Concord Bridge have thrown down their guns and refused to fire a shot heard around the world? The martyrs of history are not fools, and our honored dead who gave their lives to stop the advance of the Nazis did not die in vain. Where, then, is the road to peace? Well, it's a simple answer after all. You and I have the courage to say to our enemies, there is a price we will not pay. There is a point beyond which they must not advance. And this is the meaning in the phrase of Barry Goldwater's peace through strength. Winston Churchill said, the destiny of man is not measured by material computations. When great forces are on the move in the world, we learn we spirits, not animals. And he said, there's something going on in time and space, and beyond time and space, which whether we like it or not, spells duty. You and I have a rendezvous with destiny. We'll preserve for our children this, the last best hope of man on earth, or we'll sentence them to take the last steps in 1,000 years of darkness. We will keep in mind and remember that Barry Goldwater has faith in us. He has faith that you and I have the ability and the dignity and the right to make our own decisions and determine our own destiny. That was a portion of his speech from A Time to Choose. And it fits what's going on in our nation today. On this 4th of July holiday, I want you to remember all the veterans that have served. Those like myself that took up arms, loaded a magazine, and fought for your beliefs and your freedoms around the world. My love for my nation stops at my borders, as should yours. We will not bow to the slave masters in D.C. because it is you and I who make this nation great. My name is David Leslie, and I am the Marine.